Welcome back. My battery died on me. Thankfully, I have two of them. But my friend Sarah here can eat as much vegetables as she wants, or pardon me, as much chocolate and junk food as she wants. Now, guys, she doesn't. If you're looking for a really nice girl to talk to, I'll introduce you to Sarah. She's an amazing woman. You won't find any better. She's not going to do that, but she can. So here they are here, and I don't cook them very long because I don't need to eat. But my point is Sarah's not limited to her diet. She can have whatever she wants. I'm diabetic, so I can't. So vegetables do a number of things. Number one, they fill so that you can basically have more in your meal than you would have. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be hungry when I'm done a plate. I like to have one plate, be done, and be satisfied. Vegetables help you with that. They also help you with health stuff, and they're really good. Another thing to notice here, when you're cutting up your onions, sometimes they'll stick a little bit, and you've got to be a little bit careful to make sure that you spread them out a little bit, so you're just mixing them up a little bit. And again, you don't really want to be here, frying them up so bad that they're done here. So you want to make sure that you're giving them a good fry. Actually, I'll show you that. In Poul's Kitchen, I try to teach you how to eat a little bit better. I like to make food that's fun, that everybody's going to enjoy. It's important. But at the same time, I have to worry about some other people who have certain allergies. Like again, if you're having a friend over for dinner and they're allergic to peanuts, well, when you go to buy your food, you need to make sure that it doesn't say something about may have been in contact with peanuts. You want to make sure that you're keeping everything away from it. And same with fish, seafood, shellfish. There's a lot of different things that people can tell you that they have to watch out for. And this, I feel, is really important. At Sobeys the other day, I seen one of the most amazing things I've ever seen anywhere. One of the best things Sobeys has ever done in my lifetime. It's called peanut butter. It's, number one, it's vegan. And number two, if you have an allergy to nuts, you can eat this. It's not made of nuts at all. It's vegetarian. I don't know exactly how they do it. Never asked. But I have a very good friend that has a really bad death allergy to nuts. But he can have that no problem. It's amazing. See here, I'm not sweating it out too much. It's not too overly hot. But, you're getting a little smell of the cooked onions, which, is really good for you. It really helps your immune system. I like having a lot of onions myself. Anytime I've had anything that's kind of, halfish Mexican, it seems like I have a lot of onions too, So if you're somebody or know somebody that's allergic to nuts, I very much highly recommend tell them about peanut butter. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's in the peanut butter aisle with your cheese whiz and everything else. But it's beforehand, I believe you had to go somewhere else to get it, but Sobeys has been gracious enough to start selling it. And one of my rules that I have that I set forth in my channel, I don't endorse a store, any product. I just, where I go is where I go, and who I'm cooking with is who I'm cooking with. I don't endorse anybody. But if I see that a business is doing something really spectacular, something really, really good, or has a product that I think is really revolutionary that I need to share it, I will tell you that. I can't speak for Superstore. We don't have one nearby. Don't shop there. No Frills, I haven't seen it yet. If you're in the States or somewhere else, look for it. Peanut butter. P-E-A, not butter. It's amazing. So when you're cooking with cucumbers and celery, this especially, you don't want to cook very long. It doesn't need a lot. Just enough to, almost like it's steamed. I don't believe in boiling vegetables because it kind of cooks it out, right? It's not the greatest thing in the world. So, not necessary. See, it's a little hot, a little cooked, but not over the top. So that concludes our cooking part. Turn the pan on. We don't need to hear it. If you like to hear my beautiful voice. So I like putting the green onions in here. We're going to give it a good start. Because later on we're going to take when we start serving it, people take a serving spoon and put it in a cup. We're going to put a little bit of noodles in there. I'm not going to mix it in with this. Don't need to do that. And I'm going to show you two really, really awesome things that I really like. And sometimes getting no name is better than buying a name product because they do change the ingredients. Because if you go out and buy like a name Tostitos salsa versus a no-name Sobeys salsa, they're not the same. They do have different ingredients. One is usually better or healthier than the other. Taste-wise, I don't notice a whole lot of difference there. You never notice that much taste difference?
No.
No, and you won't. No, when you're serving it, you're just going to take a nice big spoon of this, put a lot in there, put some noodles, mix it up. This complements medium chunky salsa. My wife likes things a little hotter, not burn your mouth out, but she actually does like it. And then Newman's Own pineapple salsa. I absolutely love the salsa. You're going to pour a little bit on top of it. I'm not planning on doing a cheese sauce on this, but you can grate a little bit of cheese on top of it when you're ready. A little bit of salsa, mixture all in. Insert. How does this look to you?
Good.
It's my take on a nacho. I mean, yeah, some people are going to sit and say, well, shouldn't you have nacho chips instead of noodles? Well, I did say that this is coming from an idea from Hamburger Helper. They don't give you nacho chips, they give you noodles. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, some cheese and salsa. I think you're set to go. I think this is going to be a great meal. It's going to be nutritious. It's going to be healthy. I think this will be good. So I'd appreciate if you can hit the like button, share, subscribe, tell your buddies about it. If you're interested in joining us on chat, let me know. I'll hook you up on IRC. So until next time, this is Chef Poul. Thank you for being part of Poul's Kitchen. We'll see you later. This is Chef Poul and welcome to my show. Today I'm going to make my version of Hamburger Helper's taco dish. Now, please ask, Poul, why would you ever want to do Hamburger Helper? And I'll answer your question this way. You don't. It's garbage, it's trash, don't ever eat it. However, I tried it once. It was actually tasted really good, but there was so much sodium in it and probably a lot of sugar in it. It was just not good. However, I really did like it, and I don't like to feel that I can't have something that I really want. So, how do you handle that? You learn how to make your own. So today, I'm going to make my version of what I feel Hamburger Helper should be, without having to actually physically buy a dumb box. So in here, Sarah's going to come in with me. And by the way, this is my friend Sarah. Come on in. In here I have a pot where I'm going to boil some water. And I just got a box of small noodle shells. Nothing major, nothing big, just regular noodles. Yes, I mean, the noodles that you get from Hamburger Helper is not really the greatest thing in the world. They're just, I find them to be very minuscule, they're very thin. I find if you use better ingredients, you're really not going to get a really good experience. I feel like you kind of need to have a little bit of substance, and the better ingredients, the better it's going to taste. So that's heating up, getting ready for us. So over here, we're going to start making our taco seasoning. Now I'm going to be making 2 different pots of beef because I like to make big meals, and quite frankly, me and my wife like to have this throughout the week. We don't like to have, we really don't like to have to cook every day, especially if we're working, we're busy. This is the best way to do it. So we're going to start off by some salt. Now, you may be a salt lover, that's great. We're not. I'm not going to recommend you use a lot, a few little scrapes here, just enough that you can mix in with everything else. And this is going to be rubbed onto the meat as we're cooking it. It's a rather large portion of meat, so you need that. So we're going to have some red pepper flakes. It is Mexican, so I mean, anyways, you might want to do a Tex Mex. I mean, if you don't want it hot, don't put a lot in. If you want it hot, then put a lot in. I don't exactly want to spread this all over, but enough that, when you go through eating it, it's going to, have the taste there. So we're going to put some oregano leaves in here. And these are crushed, mind you. Oregano is always a good thing. It's healthy for you, it's really good. We're going to have some ground cumin. And I don't really like to have a whole big measurement thing sitting out here, I really don't. You can do whatever you like. So, if you like a lot of corn spice, use a lot of it. I'm going to say just a little bit, a lot. Some ground pepper. Ground pepper these days really isn't really all that expensive, so I suggest ground pepper. It has a much better taste to it. We have some leftover fajita mix. Do you need it? No, but you know what? It's going to go to waste if we don't, so. And besides the point, I want to get rid of it eventually anyways. It's tacos, so I mean it's going to have a little bit of a bite to it, a little bit, you know what I mean? Very important. Some paprika. Now this is a very hot spice, so you don't really need a whole lot. Just a little bit does enough. And then we got some chili powder. I don't know that too many Mexican dishes really taste great without having that. So we're just going to take a spoon. I'm just going to give a little mixer upper here. And that's it. So like I said, we're going to be cooking this in 2 batches. So we're going to come back into the kitchen here. I'm just going to put the spices down here. And I'm going to heat my oven up till about 6. Now, you got to turn the fan on, because if you don't, you're going to have problems. And I'm using avocado oil. So we're just going to put enough in there so that things are greased. Now, I know a lot of other people are going to have their own opinions on what they feel is what you need to have for their beef. My personal opinion is extra lean all the way. It's less fat, it's a little bit better for you. And I'm not going to film me cooking meat. I like to think we're all capable of making our own meat nowadays. So I'm going to explain what's going on as this heats up. I'm going to take this block, I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to keep stirring it. And when I find that, and as it keeps cooking, and it shouldn't take too very long, on a medium, a little bit higher maybe, you're going to keep breaking it down so it's in small chunks. You're going to dump your spice in. I'm going to use a little bit, if you go to Sobeys, you get Spirited Mickey stuff, hard apple cider mesquite. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there just to give it a little bit of taste. Nothing major. And then what you're going to do, after that's done cooking, you're going to put some gravy in. I bought a thing of poutine mix, compliments from Sobeys. Why? Because you need some gravy, and I just find poutine gravy is my favorite. I don't really make a whole lot of gravy myself, so that's why it's there. So, but to me, I find the best and the only way to go here is extra lean. Take a spatula, something like this, one that's a little bit harder, and you're just going to start breaking it down, and it's going to help while it starts cooking, right? So it's not something that's going to take very long. So you're just going to let it cook, you're just going to break it. Every now and again you come back, and then you just turn it around. Once it's broken down enough, then you put your spice mix in, and you're good. So Sarah can come in, she can take a look at that. As it cooks and it starts getting all warmed up and stuff, make sure everything's all thawed out, right? But this is a pretty thick block. But we're making two of them, and again, I'm not gonna film the whole thing. They'll know what this looks like. So, as you're doing this, get your gravy out, cook it, and then I'm going to show you what that part of it looks like, and then we'll move on to the next step. So for now, I'll be right back when we're ready.